Hello, my name is John Vehikite, and I, along with Stephen Nielsen and Keith Higby, make up Group 5, and we'll be presenting on the elicitation technique, domain analysis. In this presentation, we will give a quick introduction of domain analysis, explain how to perform domain analysis, pros and cons of domain analysis, when its use is recommended, and share the data we found while performing domain analysis for our project. In order to know what domain analysis is, we need to understand how the term domain is defined in terms of elicitation. According to Champeau, a domain is a collection of current and future software applications that share a set of common characteristics. After commonalities are found, Sturm suggests that information is identified, captured, and organized with the purpose of making it reusable when creating new systems in that domain. This is domain analysis. Champeau also mentions that variant features can also be analyzed across a family of systems. Shams ul Arif suggests two benefits for doing domain analysis. This process provides domain knowledge and identifies reusable concepts and components. Domain analysis information can be pulled from technical literature, existing implementations, customer surveys, expert advice, and current and future requirements. According to Kang, there are three phases in domain analysis. Phase 1 is context analysis. The domain analysis team must define the extent or bounds of a domain for analysis, work with users and domain experts to establish the bounds and scope, and gather sources of information. Phase 2 is domain modeling, which deals with describing the problems within the domain that are addressed by the software. And Phase 3 is architecture modeling. In this phase, the team creates a software architecture that implements a solution to the problems in the domain. As the slide suggests, later phases are built upon the information of past phases.
So domain analysis has several benefits. By utilizing the current system, the existing system that's already in place, you can obtain information from it. And that brings you to the first one, which is evaluating current processes, current procedures, manuals, and documentation. You can evaluate those to determine how the system is currently being used, and you can draw your requirements from that. It also allows for reuse of existing specifications. If your system's already been replaced in the past, just use those existing specifications and help to focus what your requirements may be. Help to focus what's important to you. There's also potential cost savings in doing that and build upon what you already have. So the cost savings is that you're not going to have to reinvent the wheel. Domain analysis also often will go hand in hand with interviews and group work. Certain individuals will already have that knowledge and experience with this system, so draw upon that knowledge. Get that information from them to help refine your requirements. You may not have that information, you may not be an expert in the system, so utilizing their knowledge will help you to get those requirements that you need to have. So the domain analysis technique does have its negatives. For one thing, it can be extremely complex to perform. This is because as an analyst, as you dig into an area of the domain, additional layers and additional levels may be found that weren't previously thought of. Now those layers will also need to be investigated, which of course may reveal additional layers, and each layer may be just as complex as the first. The technique also requires a high degree of skill and expertise. If you think that expertise isn't present in either yourself or others, the domain analysis should not be used. But if you have that experience, if someone in your organization has that experience or you have that experience, another possible downside is that it can be lengthy. It can take some time to get that knowledge. Having to coordinate schedules and possible callbacks of those individuals who have that knowledge, combined with extracting the relevant information, it's not going to be a quick task. It will take time.
So when should you use domain analysis? For replacing or enhancing an existing system, domain analysis helps you build a better version by leveraging the existing specifications, documentation, and domain expertise of your organization. Domain analysis enables you to pull together common functionality and unique feature sets of already existing similar applications into a set of functional requirements you can analyze and build for your own application. If your application is complex and you need to know more about the domain's problem space, domain analysis lets you create preliminary requirements that you can dive deeper into with other techniques such as interviews or group work. Lastly, only use this technique if you have a large enough budget and personnel to accommodate the cost in both time and human resources. Domain analysis is the wrong technique to use in the following cases. If the product you are building has no similarities to existing software or applications, if you have limited or no access to domain documentation, similar applications, or domain experts. In both of these cases, alternative techniques such as ethnography or prototyping would be a better fit for exploring and examining the domain space. Lastly, domain analysis, due to its costly and time-consuming nature, would be the wrong choice if you are facing a limited budget or major time constraints for the application. For our domain analysis data collection, we analyzed 3 homework tracking applications. The first, iStudios Pro, a top-rated application on the Apple Store. My Study Life, a web and mobile-based homework tracking application. And of course, iLearn 3.0's homework tracking capabilities. In examining each of these applications for the homework tracking domain space, we found the following common feature set requirements. That assignments should be color-coded by course to easily differentiate which assignment belongs to which course. Each assignment should have an easy way of tracking instructor information to contact the instructor for additional clarification. Each application should have both a web or desktop access component as well as a handheld companion app. This enables accessible access to the list of homework assignments anywhere the student is located. The application at its core should display a list of homework assignments that are due. Finally, the application should be able to see the assignments across the entire semester. Next, we looked at requirements that were shared by 2 of the 3 apps and found these common feature sets. Offline syncing to allow the user to work without an internet connection. The companion app should send notification reminders for upcoming assignments. A daily, weekly, and monthly calendar view for upcoming assignments. The ability to create courses and semesters for organizing your homework assignments. Categorization of homework assignments. Lastly, a dashboard with the list of daily active tasks, with tasks being hidden as you completed them. Finally, there were a number of unique feature sets that were discovered from each application. As these are unique, we would need to determine if these are actually part of the homework tracking domain, as well as necessary to our application. This would require us to work with our domain experts as well as project stakeholders. Some notable unique features we found were syncing your assignment task list with Google Calendar, tracking grades with completed assignments, tracking completion progress of an assignment so you can know how much remaining you have left on the assignment, a global search system to find assignments using keywords or descriptions, and several others which were found and can be seen on the list on the screen. With this raw data, our next steps in domain analysis would be to create a domain taxonomy or definition dictionary, entity relationship model, functional requirements model, and verify all of these models with our domain experts. If further information and analysis is needed, we would deliver these documents as preliminary requirements to other elicitation teams, such as interview or group work teams. This concludes our presentation on domain analysis, and we thank you for watching.